Hello, everybody. Hope everybody has a great week, and it's time to have some fun. We got Cajun and Polar Bear Ed. I guess Mrs. Peaches decided she didn't want to be on live, so but anyway, did everybody have a good week this week?
Not bad.
Yeah, not too bad. Not bad,
Hey,
bad. Hey, there's Leighton.
hey, Leighton Motorsports, how are you? Thank you for subscriber.
We were live with him earlier, and uh, well, he was on the panel with us on Renegades,
Okay, I was
and we turned him on to you.
okay. I went to go into Renegades and I got busy doing something else, so I didn't get a chance to get in
Okay.
there. But so how you been doing, Mr. Ed?
Oh, I'm doing flabtabulous.
Well, yeah. Well, did it make y'all got to pull this week since you didn't get to go last week?
No, there isn't one this week, so it'll be next weekend and then the following weekend.
Okay. Well, well, I want to see what them uh what all them improvements you did to that thing does. How good it helps everything out.
Me too. It's gonna it's gonna end up having to. I'm gonna have to put a track in here at the house.
I heard that.
Really piss some neighbors off.
Okay, Miss Peaches. Hey, Filthy, how are you tonight?
Not filthy.
Well, just uh, the links up there in the top up there and pinned to the top if anybody wants to jump in. So, but yeah,
I, I barely made it. I sat down on my chair this evening after I ate dinner and was actually dozing off. If I wouldn't have got
well,
that, if I wouldn't have got the message from Delisa, I probably would have been asleep.
yeah, she usually sends out most of the links and stuff like that beforehand, but there's some people we don't have their
I'll
way of
finish
getting in
this. I
touch
got
with
it.
them. Hey, Kyle, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, Kyle.
You have a good week there, Kyle?
Like, Kyle,
Hey, Delisa. Hello, Mrs. Peaches.
Yeah. Filthy, you know we know what you are, so it ain't that we don't approve of your language. I mean, we, I mean, that's what Filthy French Fry he's one of the old guys from our old streaming days. Hey, Backwoods boys,
Hey,
uh,
Sandy.
Andy.
Backwoods. What's up?
Yeah, hopefully, well, I have I have spent my whole week going back and forth to the doctor, so and it looks like the whole daggum September is going to be that way. So yeah, speaking of filthy, there he went. I think it was Alberta or somewhere. And he went to. He was there for training for a job he had, and he was sitting there live was live streaming and the next thing Winnipeg, okay, and he was sitting there, he was chatting with us on the live stream. The next thing you know, the wedding party wanted to come whoop his ass because he was over there filming. They thought he was they thought he was going he was filming the wedding party. So yeah, that's what I said. We were live on live stream, and Filthy was just sitting there talking to us. And next thing you know, the whole wedding party wanted to whoop his butt, and he was and you ain't heard so many A's in all your life. Eh, 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 eh.
Sorry, I got a phone call.
Oh, yeah, it was. We all laughed about it for a month there over what about a guy that wanted to come over there and whoop up on him. But hey, Mater, how are you doing tonight, sir?
Mater,
What's up, Mater?
grab that link.
Yeah.
He almost got stabbed.
Well, you had to bring back some of that military training you had there, Filthy, and took care of him and made him a girl, so he wouldn't have been a jealous husband after all.
Oh man, he'd have been singing soprano then.
Yeah. Kyle, he's just making leftovers. I mean, you need to. Well, you know, some of them Canadians are crazy. They're filthy. I mean,
Some.
their elevators don't go all the way to the top floor.
Some.
Some.
Well, 99.9% of them, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Missy went to.
Yeah, he filthy got loaded one night and he fell up the stairs. I mean,
Not down the stairs. Huh?
not down the stairs, but up the stairs.
How do you do that? You take like the first 2 steps, you fall on your face, you crawl up to the 5th step, you get up again, fall on your face, crawl up 5 more steps, fall down again. Takes a little while that way.
Yeah. Hey, Botzy. Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Then uh, and then he goes to the bathroom and forgets to turn his camera off.
Oh.
I mean, we had that was back when we really had some wild things. Hey, Breezy, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, Breezy. Missy went to town today and had to do the emergency transfer of funds, and from PayPal to the checking account, something happened in a transaction with the finance company. So, and she noticed there's a new store that opened where Super One used to be. Super One bought out Winn Dixie, so that was an empty store. And A year ago, maybe, I think. Johnny might correct me on this. I don't know. Around a year ago, there's in that parking lot from where Fred's Pharmacy was, the whole parking lot, uh, fresh paint down on it. It looked like they retarred it, you know, just putting fresh tar down, maybe some chip steel, I don't know. But all fresh parking lot markings everywhere. Like, well, somebody's going to do something with this. Well, about a year went by, and finally, yeah, they opened this called Rose's Discount Store.
Yeah, we got those here.
Yeah, I looked it up. They based out of North Carolina. Their main office is based out of there, and uh, I looked at one of their flyers, you know, their monthly flyers, and
Yeah.
it's something like the old TG and Y, you know,
Yeah, it's
or the old Fred's Pharmacy like we had over here, but bigger. And I'm gonna go over there and check it out one day, see if they what kind of line of tools they carry.
they don't really carry a whole lot of tools. It's kind of back where I lived in South Carolina. Rose's Down Store was always the like it was always the Walmart of the time. I mean,
Uh
they've gone more Chinese stuff now, so it's not as good a
huh.
place. But I mean, it used to be the Walmart of the time. So
Yeah,
of back when I was growing up. So
right.
maybe they're trying to make a comeback. So but they've
Uh,
been moved all the way down to Louisiana now. So
yeah, and this is this store. I forget what the square footage is, but it's a lot. Okay, I
yeah,
mean it's huge. You know this store,
yeah,
like Fred's. That was next door to it at one time. Well, Fred's they shut down completely. It was a pharmacy and uh, discount store. You know, you can go and buy your canning jars. You know, a dozen of canning jars. The name
yeah,
brand stuff. Just about
yeah.
everything was name brand. They had school supplies, stuff like that. Even garden rakes, shovels, hoes, rakes, stuff like that.
Hey,
Uh,
Bushman.
cold goods like uh, meat, milk, eggs, stuff like that. They had a little bit of that in their coolers. You know, sandwich meat, hot dogs, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But
Oh,
Fred's, they'd have had to buy 3 times as much stuff to fill Super One up. You know,
yeah.
it's a
Well,
big store.
I mean,
They
it's
can't.
it's a it's a it was always our go to store for things that we couldn't, because we didn't have the Walmart and all that
Right.
stuff. So it was kind of our every week shopping place.
I
So
told Missy it reminded me of an old TG&Y.
yeah, something similar. Yeah.
It was TG&Y was that big when I was a kid. You know,
Hey, Missy, how are you
they
doing
could
tonight?
fit in. You know, put all their stuff in that place. Like old TG&Y, Dad had bought his Marlin goose gun from there. Marlin Golden Trigger, especially gold edition, uh,
Yeah.
bolt action with a 36-inch barrel. I think it was 36 or 40. And it wasn't that much, you know, back then. I think it was like $125 or something.
Yeah. Uh,
There's my baby, Missy.
yeah. And but yeah, I got my granddaddy's gun sitting in here in the closet. I mean, it was an old 12 gauge. I think it's old Sears and Roebuck one, whatever they called it thing.
Little crack barrel.
Yeah. But I tell you what, you go to a turkey shoot, and everybody, it was a little single barrel, and everybody and his brother wanted to use that one gun because it throwed one hell of a pattern. So
That's good. And then when
so
you change ammo and brand names out for the
Yeah,
shells because they go with the cheapest they can buy for them turkey shoots.
yeah,
Usually they stick with the same brand all the time, unless everybody says, "Hey, next week do some Remington X or whatever, or
yeah,
Winchester X." Let's have a change of brand name. If everybody's not satisfied with the pattern like that.
yeah. I
Uh,
mean,
Oh,
every
that,
t-
I've won many turkey shoots.
every turkey shoot I've ever went to, they've supplied the ammo. I mean, it's
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
whatever
you
they
bought the
yeah.
ammo from them.
yeah,
Doc,
No,
Doc,
when you the ones I go to or went to, you paid an entry fee and all your ammo was provided.
yeah. That's
oh.
that's that's
These
what.
each
Yeah,
individual round, except for a tie round, you pay your $1 or $2 a shell, whatever it was. I think it was a buck a shell
well,
or
that's
$2 a shell.
it was always in the entry fee into that round.
Yeah, yeah,
And they'd hand you a shot, they'd hand you a shell that you had to use.
yeah.
And
Well, each round, yeah, they'd
yeah,
mark your name down. When one was over with, then they'd open up a new page, with 10 people's names. Then somebody putting up 10 new targets, and they say, okay, who wants to get in? Well,
yeah,
usually it's the same old regulars. And
yeah,
it wasn't just for a turkey, it was a rack of
ham,
ribs, baby back
yeah,
ribs, or
ham,
something,
big,
you know.
big old cured ham or whatever
Hmm.
else they had. They want to throw in.
Oh, yeah.
But we had, I had, I only one I ever won in my life. Uh, I had one pellet went right through the center, and you know, actually the first daggum time, I mean it had been so I mean I've never been a real hunter anyway, so I shot and I shot high, and they thought I shot somebody else's damn target, so they made me and him shoot over, and when
Oh,
we shot over, and I got one pellet right dead in the center, and I said,
a stray.
yeah, way got right in the center, and I won that
Damn.
and the shoot off. So
All the ones I went to were always money shoots. They didn't give away turkeys or ribs or anything like that. I think it was $10 a card, and they shoot down. I mean, you get like 40 people entered. You all go around, then the closest, and then finally the top like 10 guys or whatever.
yeah, well, we were ours. It would be line up for 10 people and 10 people shoot, one at a time, and then they come
Right.
back, and whoever won out of that guy either got a turkey or ham or like I said, the ribs or something or other. But they don't. But for some reason or another, nobody seems to want to have a turkey shoot anymore. I don't know because all these damn gun laws or what, but they don't have them anymore around the holidays like they used to.
These ones here were like every other weekend. No, late November, mid
Yeah,
November, start up through March.
yeah, right. They usually started up right before Thanksgiving. That way
Mm-hmm.
you could take the turkey or the ham or whatever to go get
Right.
for Thanksgiving and then it went on all the way up to Christmas. And that way,
These things were all day events. I mean, they had a kit. It was all indoor. They had a kitchen. It was at a sportsman's club. They had a kitchen. They'd serve breakfast, lunch, and supper.
Indoor shooting range?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Must have been like an old skating rink or something.
No, this building was built specifically for their sportsman's club, and
Oh, okay.
they had a shotgun range inside. They had a pistol range inside. Outside, they had a bow range, uh, just distance targets. Across the road, up on the hill, they had a high-powered rifle range, skeet range, and then back. They had a lake on the property too. Back around the lake, they had the bow hunting where you like walk through the woods and the targets move and like pop up and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
this
It was a really laid out place.
Well, usually the ones I'm talking about usually wasn't nothing but basically a sand pit with a has the background and you and
Yeah,
you line up and shoot. So
a berm behind the targets.
yeah,
I can remember a real good friend of mine used to be uh, a member in high standings there. That's why I would go. And I volunteered one weekend in the spring to help them clean the gun range out. 55-gallon barrels of lead and spent ammo.
dang.
Wow. Lead? What kind of lead?
From the bullets and stuff.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah,
The
that's
shot,
right, because y'all was indoor. Yeah, okay.
the shot and stuff. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it had a tapered steel wall in the back that went down into like a pit, so all your stuff would go down into the pit.
Oh, okay.
And they would have to shovel it out and clean it out every year. And they're from the pistol range and the shotgun turkey shoot range inside. They got 5 55-gallon barrels.
Well, and reloaders had fun with that.
No, they actually took it to the scrapyard. They won't melt it back down. There's too much contaminants in it.
Oh, hell. Matt, he forms his own. He's got his own bullet molds for his 45s and 40s, 9s, and he goes to the scrapyard over here and buys them old tire weights. He buys certain ones though, because some of them are alloys and some of them are pure lead. He likes both actually. In fact, there's one that's I forget what he said it was, but it's a combination of two metals and lead and something else, and he loves those because they're hard hitting bullets. You know? This one old man had a goose gun. I say old man. He was 5 years older than me, and he had a scope on his shotgun. I'm like, huh? Okay. You know, that scope ain't gonna help much as long as you hit the target, because then the shot's gonna land where it more or less wants. And we've had a lot of measuring with a machinist compass.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that got down to the micron almost, you know, and there was a lot of real close calls.
Yeah.
Well, when I was going to them, this has been 10 plus years ago. There was a couple old gunsmiths there, and they had what they called the cheater guns that they would just do shoots with. And the target's 4 inches across or something like that. The opening for where it goes in.
Yeah.
I see them take that. I see them take that whole thing out. They re-rifle them. They would re-rifle the barrels and stuff, and make that pattern so tight that they would just stay in a wad going down the range.
Mm-hmm.
So they're no good. They're no good over 40 yards. You know, but
those. But like I said, I had that old single barrel, but it's got a long barrel on it. I don't know what the length of it is. I forgot what the length of it is, but it's got a long barrel, and everybody and his brother wanted to use it because it was they said it threw a consistent pattern all the way every time they shot.
Oh, yeah. The longer the barrel, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
The link's right above you there if you need it in. I see.
But today, I mean, they were calling for scattered showers. 5 minutes before I walked out the door at work, it started downpouring.
It scattered all around you, huh?
Well, I stood in the doorway of work for probably 10 minutes, wait for it to lighten up enough that I could go across the parking lot and get in my truck. I'm like, yeah.
We had one this afternoon, and then it started thundering and then lightning again right before I started. So,
We didn't have any lightning and thunder, just like somebody turned the faucet on heavy.
No, we've had thunderstorms again today. But for the last 2 weeks, every day, storm. And never hardly broke 80, 82, 83 maybe. I walked in here last night. What time was it?
Hi, Jeff.
8:30. I woke up. I had slept all day, most all day, and got up at 8:30 going Power Stroke Jude's channel. And about 30 minutes in, I said, "I see y'all later, guys. Look, I don't feel good. I'm not feeling right." They were asking me when we first started, "Heard you been sick. You okay? You okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm okay. Just fatigue." And not even a half hour into the live stream, I went to bed and I got up at 5 o'clock this morning. Stayed up about an hour and a half, something like that. 2 hours. Made me a classic French omelet with some ham and cheese, and with 3 eggs. And then 20 minutes after my food went down, I hit the bed again. I didn't get up till 4:30 today, this afternoon. That's a lot of sleep in 2 days.
For now, be up all night.
Well, I don't know why it's like that, but once I can get my hours back straight, I'm gonna be fine again, I guess. But it's hard to do that when people different go live at different times, and then sometimes I go live late till the wee hours of the morning.
I'm live now.
Yes, you are, Jeff. You're very live.
I hope you are. I mean,
That might not be a good thing, though.
Man, I guess it's the rain that's doing that.
yeah, it may be. Jeff lives up there where all them chemicals and all that there, all that garbage up there in garbage state, and
I thought that was Jersey.
that's where he stays at over right in New Jersey, don't you,
You in Jersey, Jeff?
Yeah, lucky me.
Jeff?
Oh, I didn't know. I thought she was like to the west side of it or something.
Yeah, so he's
Oh, yeah,
he,
but still,
he's
it's still here.
yeah
Oh, okay.
he may have died 5 years ago. It just ain't never caught up with him yet.
What is it about Jersey that all the trash goes there? They got half the state's a huge landfill or something, or what?
No, not really. Most of the stuff passes through from New York on its way to Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's what it used to be. I mean, but it's still got. There's a lot of dead zones or whatever you want to call it, where places that they
in
can't
the
really
water.
have anything because of. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But
Years ago, I used to read about the barges, documentaries on it on TV,
yeah,
and read trash barges, scows, I guess they call them. I think the name
Yeah.
of it. Trash barges, and they used to dump that crap in the water.
They used to use it for backfill.
yeah, and
Oh, okay. Like for bulkheads and stuff.
Well, you got Staten Island landfill over here. That was a big mess.
yeah.
I think they finally finished that up, though.
Oh, that's probably one of them Superfund projects.
Oh, that put a whole new meaning to Superfund. That did.
Yeah, I bet. I remember when that crap started, that Superfund crap started. This woman that she ran it by herself. Her husband had died years before, and they owned the equipment, the heavy equipment, and all that. And she could run it. That woman could run the equipment herself. And when she was filling out this paperwork that the government sent, and that's when right after the Superfund started, or a couple of years. It was new anyway. and they put batteries. Yeah, well, she took batteries, but she thought it was the little toy batteries,
No.
double A,
No.
C cell, little bitty toy batteries. They find that woman, I don't know how many millions of dollars and all that for cleanup. And it finally got straightened out. She said, why is this happening? They said, well, you said, finally, they said, well, you said you got batteries listed. Yeah. After Christmas and all that, a lot of toy batteries come in, and there's some of them that we missed, taken out to go to a separate place. And they was like, oh no, we talking about dozer batteries, truck batteries, car batteries. And she's like, no, never took none of that. There's a place that buys them over here. Why would anybody throw them away? So that all got straightened out. Man, she went through about a year and a half of litigation on that crap though.
Well, there's plenty of kind of dead zones around here because they had a chemical plant, then there was another place down, a casting plant that blowed up down here,
Wow.
and then there blew about a 40-foot deep hole in the ground, Lisa said. But I mean,
Dang.
and it was right along. It's all and the railroad tracks go. It's always been here. So there's a lot of kind of dead zones around here. But I mean, it's and then another thing is now these people they're starting a big thing. They want to preserve history, but these damn buildings downtown is got so much mold in them that there's no way of rehabbing them buildings downtown. They
Oh
actually
boy.
tore down a city block this week down there because of so much mold and everything where because they just they never did do any maintenance to them or anything else. So they ended up basically bulldozing the whole city block. I think
Damn.
they're about 6 foot deep in the ground, just cleaning that junk out,
Dang.
and it's right along the little river, the river that's down there,
Uh-oh.
Peak Creek, and so they were, they trying to actually clean that river up some, but I don't
So
know.
actually that river water or creek water and stuff and rainwater and all that's mixing in the underground sands,
Yeah,
underground aquifers. Wow. Ugh.
yeah, yeah. And the sad part about it is back up this way, from town. This is where the water supply comes from for this drinking water and all that stuff for the whole
Dang.
up here. I mean, I'm that's why. Yeah, I mean, they got a lake back here that they pull water out of. You fish, but you can't have a motorized. You can't have a motor on the boat or anything else. You can use a trolling motor, but
I can remember when I was young, preteen, going to the landfill with my uncle. There was a certain section where, like, homeowners, whatever, could go in and dump their stuff. And all the
yeah,
commercial guys went up on the hill. Well, off the side and kind of down the hill a little bit, they were working with a dozer. And when we got in there, and all of a sudden, 3 semi-trailers roll in. They back down in this hole side by side. Dozer kind of pushes them back in, and he starts pushing dirt over top of all of them. I was young. I asked my uncle, I said, well, what are they doing? He's like, don't ask questions.
Yeah. Close your eyes. Turn your head.
well,
And that area right there, I know when we were in there, you went down in, and there's probably 200, maybe 300 feet of stuff on top of it by now.
Dang.
Well,
So
I mean, even things that might have asbestos in it that goes over here, they still bury that stuff. So I mean, it's that over here. But I mean, but we had to. Last time we got this house roofed, we had to make sure that we had to show proof that the shingles didn't have asbestos and all that stuff in them. So
a friend of mine works at a construction and demolition landfill, and that's his job. Is when the trucks come in, as they're unloading, he has to check stuff to make sure that there's nothing in there that they can't be unloading. He said there's been more than one time that he's had to call a loader operator over and scoop stuff back up and dump it back in their trailer.
well,
Well, at least he was paying attention, doing his job.
Well, yeah. He
That,
makes really
that
good-
reminds me. I
He
was
makes
talking about that water earlier. Camp. Wasn't you at Camp Lejeune? Over there south of you? Wasn't you stationed there at one time or something? Anyway, I see these ads all the time, watching YouTube movies, and they got this class action lawsuit about Camp Lejeune. That secret, they wasn't talking, it was hush hush. They knew about the water supply, and there's all kind of cancer going on. Everybody that was stationed at Camp Lejeune and in the surrounding area was getting cancer from the drinking water, tap water.
my brother, the Marine base over there on the coast, North Carolina.
Yeah,
I
Camp
mean,
Lejeune,
my middle
Paris Island.
my middle brother was based there, but it was after '87, I think. So they supposed to be cleaned it up at around the year '87. So that's the lawsuit goes up to anybody before '87. So
I was just trying to find an article in my paper here. They got a thing in here where the federal government stepped in and they're trying to shut down a bunch of Amish farmers.
For what? Dumping, spreading horse manure on their property?
No, believe it or not, because they have farm markets directly on their farms and they're butchering their own stuff and they're selling their own, vegetables and stuff without going through all this other bullshit that everybody else has to go through.
Well,
There's a
I
couple of
thought,
them, they got them fined like $5 million or something.
ew,
Well, the vegetables are one thing, but when you're dealing with meat and poultry, you cannot sell that uninspected to the public.
oh yeah, that I'll get along with that.
You can sell it on the hoof, but you cannot sell it hanging or any other way without inspection.
Right, unless you have a USDA guy come out at the kill floor and they test the liver and the kidneys.
Well,
I think
they
the
do
way,
it.
I can't
They do
find it, but I
They do
think the
visual
way
inspections and everything.
they actually do get the USDA comes out and inspects it, but because this stuff's not all going through a processing plant and stuff, they've decided to shut them down. And then one farmer's like, I don't care how much you fine me, I'm not shutting down my farm stand. This is my livelihood.
well, I mean that's in a way that's sad because I mean that's what we used to kill hogs and all that stuff back when I was a kid. We had the weights and all on a big old oak tree and hung it up out there, and then we cut it up on tables out there, and spread
And
out
open, yeah.
there. Yeah, I mean, and then wrapped it up, and then Granny took it down to the barn, cured it out with he salt cured his because he didn't have a smokehouse, but he salt cured it, and I mean. That's what we eat on for meats for the whole next year. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, if you're doing it for you personally, there's no issue. But the minute you charge somebody for a piece of that meat, that's illegal.
Yeah. Now I thought the Amish had their own. I thought they were what they call that, exempt from
Nope.
certain things with the government.
Nope, not that. At least not here in Ohio, they're not.
Because I mean, I believe it. If it's like that, there's probably like that everywhere. But the Amish, that's self-sustained people. They don't have electricity. They don't rely on electricity. They have steam engine stuff, technology. Like for planing wood or lumber. They'll use like a diesel tractor or something with a belt to run the sawmill.
And that's kind of why, though, Cajun. That's kind of the government can't tax some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. Government ain't getting their share.
They're cut off of it. Yeah, because they're self-sufficient people. The government don't get their cut off of it. So, in other words, that pisses the government off. If you can't, I mean, I ain't wanting to get political, but why in the hell are they having to hire 87,000 armed IRS agents nowadays? I mean, extra 87,000 armed IRS agents. That's just the government's government thugs that's coming out. They're going to be coming after people. So.
Oh yeah. They armed IRS agents with a swastika on their collars.
Yeah.
Well, if they were slaughtering animals and stuff for community use, if a community come together, they slaughtered it, everybody took their cut and went home.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing they can do about it. The minute somebody outside the community comes in and pays for it or accepts it, it has to be federally inspected because it is not community based.
Yeah. The slaughterhouse here, where we go to, they have 2, sometimes 3 of those small USDA cars that drive up every morning. The guys get out with their orange hard hats and their white lab coats, carrying their little briefcases with some of their chemicals or whatever for the day. And about, I think, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they finish their day. They get there at like 6:30 in the morning, 7 in the morning. By 1 or 2 o'clock, they done. What they're doing, they testing the livers, the kidneys. They just taking a little biopsy, and then testing that. And, it's got a number on that test tube or whatever. And that corresponds with a tag number on the carcass in the coop. And then they'll stamp it. If it's good, they'll stamp it. If something's wrong with that liver or whatever, it's reject. And Randall gets to keep it, to put it in his freezer at his house, the slaughterhouse owner. It depends on what the test shows, though.
Yeah, it's just more of a government type thing. I mean, you take what's his name, Gates. Bill Gates ain't getting his because he's bought up so much damn farmland now. He can put all the chemicals out and everything else he wants on the farmlands and all that junk.
Wow.
I mean, that's why he keeps buying up more and more farmland, and they're putting chemicals and everything on it. But the little guys are decided they're just butchering up a little bit of meat on the side. They're going they don't want you to have farm raised stuff anymore. I mean, you take a chicken, a daggum chick, and in 6 weeks that's a full grown chicken now. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, there's no.
broiler.
I mean,
Hey, Miss Sandy, again. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark. And Sandy.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, but it's all it all comes down. It all comes down to the daggum money and the damn chemicals they want you to do. They want you to have in your body. I mean, so
yeah.
I mean, you can't. I mean, or if people realized what actually went into your foods and stuff like that,
They wouldn't eat it.
you never eat it. So
That's why I don't eat at McDonald's.
yeah, I mean, it's all. Yeah, I mean that's why it's kind of all hush hush. You know, they were talking years ago when they were talking about inhumane treatment of animals, blah blah blah, PETA or whatever. But nowadays they mass produce everything so damn much so quick that with all them antibiotics and all that stuff the probiotics and everything else they get to put in the food to feed to them animals to get them full grown so quick that that is why now you can't go to the doctor and they just hand you they give you a prescription for antibiotic anymore because it does no good because of the fact that that they got so much of that junk already in the foods that you're immune to it. So, hey, truck man on fire.
Hey, truck man on fire.
Took me on fire. That don't sound good. Somebody better put his ass out.
I'm burning up. I'm burning up.
Well, he's another one of our Canadian guys. So, I mean, and when you, I guess it's the doggone cold. It's the cold up there where he's at. He runs that highway through hell every week. So.
Oh, really? Dang.
Yeah, that they had that their big thing on A&E about the highway through hell and all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
he
that
runs
reality show.
Yeah, that's what that's his regular route is.
So he's in some of them episodes.
No, he's not in those episodes, but he was.
Oh, okay.
He's got a dedicated route that runs back and forth right through that area. So
gotcha.
He has been in some of them storms.
That's
He's
some
in
bad terrain.
Them storms and mountains and all that stuff down through there. So
believe me, when you have to get out of the truck and tie a load down when it's minus 50 out, it's not fun.
Yeah, that's true, Jeff.
Man,
how you been doing, Patrick?
I couldn't survive minus 50 below. Not me, no, not this little coon ass Cajun. Hey, Patrick Hatchett.
Yeah, I went
to Keller in the house.
I was sitting down at the shop the other day, and there was this daggone this movie caught my attention down there. I watched on television, and it was about the Cajuns back. I think it was 1973 where the Cajuns took on the daggone National Guard and wiped out most of
Southern Comfort.
Yeah.
Well, the movie was set back in 1972, 73, like you said.
Yeah.
But the movie, we saw it in Louisiana first. I saw the previews in 1977, and I think we watched it in 78, and it came out supposedly like 80 or 81 or something. Is when the official release date. And you don't mess with them Cajuns in that Atchafalaya Basin now. See what happened to the National Guard.
Yeah.
But they didn't have no bullets neither. live. Well, they had one box of so-called. I got one box of shells that I keep for any wild game I see. But you call them shells. You know, they're not shells. That was a misquote, a goof in that movie. They call cartridges, you know, or ammo, but they're not shotguns.
Yeah.
So shotguns use shells, yeah, not cartridges. But anyway, I've watched that movie probably 20 times.
Well, I had never seen it, so I sat there and actually watched it. Yeah,
I had to go to the doctor yesterday,
Now, too much cussing in it for me, really, really and truly.
it's,
and I got my new inside of my boot put in. And then last night I got a text that says, "I need you out on that job tomorrow. I've got a big problem out there." So I sent him back a little picture of a handicap thing. He says, "Well,
Wait.
all you have to do is get in that truck once and stay in it all day."
What you have put inside your boot?
The big boot I got wear has like this rubber thing, like a rubber mat. That actually is like the top half of it is made. It looks like rubber honeycombs. You pop out, so I gotta take them out like where the thing is on the bottom of my foot, so it doesn't have any pressure on it.
What's that for?
You really want to see?
No.
Oh, that. Oh no, never mind.
No, Daryl's channel will get shut down permanently.
No,
We show
no, I want to see that. No, I know what y'all do. Yeah,
On
I
top
saw
of
it one
that, Ed
time.
won't like it.
I saw that already. Never mind.
No, you didn't see that yet.
that might be on Ed's next cooking with the bear segment.
Oh,
I might wait
that's
until
what it looks.
tomorrow
That's
night.
kind of what it looks like. Some raw ground meat.
Yeah.
I'll wait until tomorrow night. He'll appreciate it.
I definitely do not have a foot fetish.
No, I saw. Well, y'all was showing that one. This is a good while back, but I've seen some little short pictures of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
thought
actually
you were
getting
talking
better.
about something that you had to wear for work to keep something from falling in your boots or something. You know.
No. The only pain in the ass part about it is I can't leave it on all day. I got like one of them stupid little, the surgical slipper things. I wear them when I'm in the truck all day because if I leave the big boot on, my feet gets all fucking hot and start sweating on the bottom and stuff. And they don't appreciate when I show up a week later and they have to cut half of that all open again.
Yeah. Well, Delisa's got something growing in her foot too. She's going to soon end up having to go back to get cut out again because some kind of a thing that grows in the bottom, right in the bottom of her foot, and they had to cut. There's some kind of cyst or something other in it. It's like walking on a damn baseball when she walks. So.
Oh, well, this ain't growing. I wish it would, but it ain't.
Yeah, my buddy Big T Coins, he's got it's an ulcer of the bone in his heel on his foot. And they finally figured out after 8 months, they finally diagnosed the problem after he went in the hospital for 2 weeks. Well, he was there the first day or second day, and when they cleaned that wound up, it was the size of a silver dollar.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You could actually see the bone and all the whatever it was in there. Man, the doctor said, "Who's been treating this?" Man. And it wasn't a specialist, it was a regular doctor, and then he referred him to a specialist came in, they put him under and cleaned all that out, cut a lot of that old whatever out of there, and he's back home now, you know, and he gets
Well, that's what
home
mine
health
was.
care in every few days to clean the wound and change the dressing, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's what mine was. Originally from an operation a couple of years ago, and it was healed all the way down to like the size about yo big. I slipped off the truck one winter. I slipped off the tank there when I get in the truck. When I hit the ground, I felt this funny feeling, and I kind of knew right away it was one of the bolts broke.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because there's two bolts that goes across the bottom and one that goes up on an angle to my ankle.
Dang.
Wow.
It kind of holds it in one spot. So, like, you know, driving a truck and being able to climb up there to look in the body and stuff, that's a no. Don't even try that.
Yeah. Daddy had one that was on his big toe. The whole side of his big toe, and he was bad. He was bad diabetic, and they never could get that sucker to heal. Matter
Oh
of
no,
fact,
not diabetic. No.
matter of fact, he done went through chemo one time, and was fixing it, and the cancer had come back, and he was going to go through chemo again, but they couldn't do it without trying to heal that toe up or whatever, and he went in the hospital to try to get stuff get him worked on the toe, and he never came out because he had a stroke, and that was and for 8 weeks 8 weeks I think it was, he laid there and just in a stroke, kind of like he was,
Paralyzed.
yeah. So
So, anyways, Ed, what's this thing you're gonna make liver and bacon or something?
Bare liver.
I ain't cooking no liver and onions or liver and bacon or whatever.
Scott's selling everything he's got, which I think he announced that in your stream the other Sunday night.
Yeah.
Selling everything he got up north.
I agree, Peaches.
I love liver.
Oh,
Liver, kidneys, and hearts. Makes
I've,
a
right.
awesome gravy. Man.
I've eaten pickled heart and fried heart and stuff like that, and I've eaten calf brains. I've actually eaten liver and kidney too, but those two are no, I can't eat them.
They're not in your favorite book list.
Yeah.
no.
Now you need to double that number, Scott.
Double it, probably
He
triple
put
it.
800 up there.
No.
I'll
that's
bet
only-
you maybe if you got around the 1,500 mark, he might.
I can't even eat chicken gizzards because I mean that reminds me too much of it. Chicken gizzards.
Oh, I love chicken gizzards. I just can't eat them the way my teeth are, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I love chicken gizzards too. They're awesome bait.
Catfish bait, huh?
My brother's daughter come over today. She cooked up this great big pot of that pasta pizzole stuff, and she brought some over for me and Dad.
Oh, okay, Scott. I see what you're talking about. Yeah. Ed, I think you did say Sunday, you'd eat liver and onions for $500.
No,
I don't remember that.
We were talking about it, and he kept putting the number out at 500. I never agreed.
Oh, okay. I remember Mark saying something about I'll eat out of a crock pot for $500.
yeah, maybe Mark agreed to it, but I mean, I agree. I'd agreed. I'd eat tuna noodle casserole for 500. Oh yeah, but
Well, that's what Mark's out there doing now is cooking up his cooking on the grill so he can put it in that crock pot so he can say he
Yeah.
yeah, Mark said he'd eat tuna noodle casserole out of a crock pot.
he's out there on the grill right now cooking it up so he can put it in the crock pot for tomorrow night.
Watch out. Mark might have one of them long distance rail guns at a certain angle aimed toward Virginia. Them rail guns got some distance on them, let me tell you.
For $500, I'll sit here and eat a bacon and egg sandwich with Swiss cheese on it.
Yeah, me too.
Old man used to love all that stuff. I mean,
What'd
even
you do?
South,
Roll
even
those down
South
there?
meat and everything else. I mean,
Oh,
I never could stomach it.
my mom and my brothers both love liver and onions. Not me.
Well, I got down to one year they wouldn't sign off for me to play football because I was anemic, and they made and that's what I had to eat a bunch
Who's
of
that?
liver and all that stuff
You
to
come
try
to
to get my blood back up. So,
There you go, Jeff. Scott says 500 if Jeff shaves his beard off.
Keep going, Briggs.
Oh, and then we forgot. You got to do it live. It don't matter if you're on somebody else's panel. You got to do it live.
$1,000 cash.
Daryl, buddy, I'm sorry, man. I gotta get out of here. My eyes, I cannot keep them open at all.
Looks like you're a little tired.
all right.
Yeah, well, the last 2 or 3 nights I haven't slept very well, and I've been up by 3:30 every morning, just wide awake. So, yeah.
All right, Ed.
Hey, we'll see you tomorrow then.
Talk to you later.
I don't know if Mark's going live tomorrow night or not. We got that
Well,
benefit
we'll see
dinner
Sunday.
to go. Yeah, definitely Sunday. So, all right, guys. Thank you a lot. You all have a good evening. Everybody stay safe.
Salute time.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, he was kind of looking like he's gonna fall asleep there, huh?
Hey, Scott counter offered you $1,000, beard, mustache, and head. Baby butt smooth. Gotta shave your head too. Beard, mustache,
What,
and
this up
head.
here? There's nothing there now.
Well, hey, take that $1,000 and run with it. I'll go live so you can do it live in a live stream.
he can do it right now if he wanted to do it. I mean, I'll present him and I'll set up.
Back up with the $1,000 in his hands, then I'll think about it. Until then,
No, he'll put
he's
it
in
in your
Florida.
PayPal. He'll put
Huh?
it in your PayPal. He did it with Mater.
Yeah, he did
He
Mater.
did it with Mater. He threw it in his PayPal account.
But he hasn't said nothing about paying yet.
Yeah, he did. He said $1,000. Your ball, face, and head. Now, I don't know if he's got the 1,000 in his PayPal right now. He'll have to put it in and do this at a later date or what. But he'll give you the money up front, then you do it.
Yeah, right, Delisa?
Oh, he said he'll drive up to Jersey when he gets back and meet you at the barbershop.
Well, let me know when you're on the way.
Uh-oh. Peaches said, uh-oh.
But, yep. I mean, it's but
Johnny, where's your accordion?
Huh?
Where's your accordion?
Right over there.
Oh, okay.
I forgot about Johnny sitting there. How you gotta have to speak up every now and then, Johnny, and let everybody know you hear it.
Oh yeah, I forgot to announce when you went live. Hey, Johnny Best is in the house.
Yeah.
Say hi, Johnny, to everybody.
Hey,
Hi, Johnny,
everybody.
to everybody.
Say hey, Jeff.
Huh?
Hey,
Say
Jeff.
hello, Jeff. Hello, Daryl.
Hello, Jeff. Hello, Daryl.
Hello, everybody in chat.
Hello, everybody in chat.
There we go. It's official.
Oh, Johnny.
How, Johnny?
Did you get any work done on your tractor, Jeff, this week?
No, not yet. It's still too hot. I should. I was gonna take a ride out to Harrisburg tomorrow and see if I can meet this guy out there because I bought a cultivator and I got a set of Hiller discs for when you're planting potatoes and shit.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
row hippers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a
What
small
bummed me out
hammer
is what
that
bummed
you
me
can
out is the
adjust.
picture. He had the plow on it, but he sold the plow and he's
Oh,
got the
okay.
rest of it.
So now he's just got what, the row hippers
Yeah.
on each side. On each side.
Yeah, he's got the discs and the
Yeah,
toolbar.
Yeah, well, the 2-bar and then the hippers go on the 2-bar with the big square U-boats and
Yeah.
special nuts and all that for that because that's what our Super A had. We had the row hippers and that's what we'd heal everything up with. You know, make our rows and then when we fertilize, we'd cultivate with the belly bars. We had the sights on the belly bars, the cultivators. And then on the back, we built a stand, a seat for the fertilizer can. And the fertilizer can had that lever on it, like that.
Yeah.
And we modified it with the spring. And we had a rope right there in this eye boat that we just stuck in the umbrella hole. We welded a pipe for an umbrella hole on each side. So it depends on who gets on the tractor. If I was on the tractor, since I'm left-handed, I wanted the rope coming
On that
there.
side.
And then when we let the rope go at the end of the hill, at the end of the row, if the lever would spring back and the fertilizer would stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the row hippers on the back 2-bar, you know, to mound the potatoes up, you know, the dirt around the potatoes. And then we had a certain pattern we'd do. We wouldn't get out of that row and then come back on the next one. We always skip like 4 rows.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble now.
We made a
I just want to say something before we go any further. Scott Keller, first off, your mother is dead. You lied. Second off, the other week when you were on our stream bragging about owning 3 houses and you get $1,500 a month per house. Okay, our friend was there and he has been suicidal and he is almost homeless. Why don't you shut your mouth and send that guy some money? Since you brag, you got all this money and I don't think you got shit. You go and brag to our friend about a house. He's almost homeless. So the best thing for you to do is quit your bragging because don't nobody believe your ass. Now, you got something to say to me? You say to my face, but a man does not brag to the man that's homeless.
I hope you just learned something there, Briggs.
Delisa, you muted.
Am I muted? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. What happened was we was on stream and our friend was there and he's been suicidal before and Peaches knows who I'm talking about. We've had to talk him out of suicide. He has been loyal with us and he's never asked us for a penny the whole entire time we've been friends. And we've been friends with him for years. Scott was sitting right there and heard our friend say, I'm a month from being homeless. But here goes Scott bragging about him owning 3 houses, getting $1,500 a month each on rent. And then Leaky says something about, you know, I wish I could just find my place where I need to be. Scott goes again. He said, well, I got 3 houses. I get $1,500 a month. Let me tell you something right now. When you brag about something like that in front of somebody's face that's almost homeless, you have stooped to a low level. And yes, I'm mad as hell because that really hurt our friend. And if you got something to say, you can say it to my face. But you are not a man, you're a boy. No man. And I can guarantee you, Jeff and Cajun, if they were there listening, they would tell that guy, is there anything I can help you with? Did you, Scott? No. You said, I got 3 houses. I get $1,500 a month. Who cares, Scott? I don't know how many houses you got. I don't care. And if you notice, nobody else cares. Oh, really, Scott? Let me tell you what. I will upload the vlog and put it on YouTube so everybody can hear it. And my friend was sitting right here texting me. And he said, I can't believe this guy. So I'm sitting here telling him that, you know, don't do anything. I know how he is, Botchies. Plenty of people warned me about him. But you know what? He ain't getting away with it this time because, number one, you don't talk about my friends or to my friends like that, especially not when I know that man's history and I know what he's been through. And especially when Daryl tried to change the subject twice on him and he wouldn't stop. You know, my friend was suicidal and you go and brag something like that to his face, that will push people over the edge. And I don't think you realize that. Sometimes the best thing to do is to say nothing, Scott. Sit here on the stream and don't nobody want to hear about you bragging. Yes, Peaches, you know who I'm talking about. She knows what our friend has been through. You don't sit and brag to someone like that. You're not a man. You're an immature boy. And all you want to do is brag, 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 brag. Who cares? I don't care what you got. I don't care where you're at. And apparently nobody else does because they're like totally ignoring you. So what I can tell you is you need to sit back and really think your situation. And if you don't, you know what, how easy it is to access records on the internet, just type in somebody's name. That's all you need these days. So I'm sorry y'all had to hear this, but he really pissed me off. A real man does not do that. A real man does not go and do that. I'm going to sit here and text my friend and tell him I took care of it. I didn't hear anyone who. Scott, you're telling me that you didn't hear that man say that he was a month from being homeless? You a flat liar. I've got the video right here. I'll go clip it off and post it on YouTube where everybody can hear it. Okay, I'm sorry that y'all had to hear that, but I had to get it out of my system because I feel sorry for my friend who's almost homeless. And apparently Scott's got all this stuff, but he ain't got no money to back his shit up. But I guarantee you right now, if Cajun and Jeff knew that somebody was in that position, they would offer to help that man, even if it was $20. But I'm sorry y'all had to see that, but it really crawled under my skin. We do not tolerate that on our stream, period. And especially not a dear friend, longtime friend that has been suicidal and has had a really rough road since right before COVID. I know what he's been through. Daryl knows what he's been through. Peaches knows what he's been through. And probably Truckman if he's still here. So I don't care if I hurt your feelings or what. I do not care. What I care about is my friend who's got a rough road and is a month from being homeless. And if you want to brag, you got that many houses. Oh, well, come up here to Ford Motor Company up here, down here and get a job. He's in freaking Canada. He can't do that. He told you that. You want to sit around and brag something about that? Let him live in your house for free for a year. Thank you, Botch. He has it rough. And Daryl and Peaches knows exactly who I'm talking about. And our friend has been one of the most loyal friends that you ever hear in your life. But that man, no matter how bad it got, he has never asked us for a penny. So I'm sorry for y'all. I am not apologizing to Scott at all. I will go get that video clip and post it on YouTube. But nobody is going to treat my friend like that. Daryl's friend or Peach's friend, especially not when I know the situation he's been in. Daryl and I talked that man out of suicide. You're stupid, Scott.
And now back to our regular scheduled program.
Let's get what were we talking about the tractor? What kind of what is you what do you say?
Oh, I got he's got a cultivator set, and he's got the Hiller disc on a toolbar.
Oh, okay.
Which I found another guy up in Maine that has the same toolbar setup, but he's got the potato plow. The only thing is, he's up at the top end of Maine, and he doesn't ship, and he won't deliver. So I looked it up, and it's like where he is, it's 7.5 hours from here. It's like, I am not driving 7.5 hours for that.
Well,
no, you could probably get a set of row hippers, hillers, or we sold a set a while back. Me and Randy, for our tractor, we sold a set. We found an extra set that we had in the weeds on the fence line on one of the properties we were sharecropping. We just paid sharecropping, this and that. It's about the same thing. We were growing a lot of corn, potatoes, and okra on that property. That was it. No tomatoes and nothing, because that needs to be tended to every day.
Yeah.
And okra every other day, But so we go out there every other day. And
otherwise you're living.
All the corn was gone, and the only crop left was the okra. And there'd be 3 of us go out. There's teams. Me and Randy go out every 2 days, and the other 2 days somebody else would go out and pick, because they had a share in it. And then we just cut the okra. We had okra cutters, and then we give the landowner all the freaking okra he wanted, letting us plant, because he wasn't using the property, and that part of the property he couldn't use. He couldn't get to that part with his big tractor. They couldn't cross that small bridge with his them big versatiles.
Yeah, you got to pay attention where you go with that.
Yeah. So he couldn't cross that old bridge, and we could with that little Super 8, and our pickup truck. So we just gave him all the okra and not all the corn he wanted, I mean, we wasn't giving him a whole truck bed of corn, put it that way, because that's too much for planting. Give him all the okra he wanted, though, We give him his fair share of corn. We give him 50 dozen ears,
I know the farm that's over here by where I was in the hospital by me, he's got different fields all around town here. They're all like 20, 30 acre fields of this and that and stuff. And he's got one that's right across from his farm stand. It's nothing but tomatoes.
There you go. Yeah.
And you got to see, he's got a whole crew of Mexicans. They go out in vans to
Oh,
these different fields, and they're out there all day picking tomatoes. But he sells to like the ShopRite stores around here and stuff too.
right.
Next year, I might start planting the damn garden again because I got to get me a tiller because my tractor. By the time I put a fence in to keep the deer out of it and all that stuff, it's not a big area, but and all that stuff. It's just so a tiller would be better than using my tractor for it. But Delisa wants to know, Cajun, how do you cook your okra so it don't get mushy? She says it. So,
Well, okay.
hey, Tom.
That'll take a little while to explain. So what I'll do, I'll send an email with a video that we got on it. Now, I don't know what type of okra I don't know what she wants to do with the okra.
She'll deep fry it, but
Oh, okay. Well, all right. We'll talk backstage more because I don't want this to take up too much of the screen. Well, I can keep it short, but the main thing we use okra for down here is pickling, and pickled okra, and okra for gumbo, and that's cooked down for about 2 to 3 hours. And it's brown. It's real brown. You start off with a whole black iron or a Magnolite pot, a huge roaster Magnolite. I'm talking about the big roaster to put a turkey in. We'll start off with one of them, 3/4 full, and then when it goes down a little bit, we'll add some more, and it goes down, we'll add some more, and 3 hours later, we have the end product. It's brown. I mean, you got to keep at it too. You can't just stir it and then go watch a soap opera on TV, and then come back and it'll be burnt. It'll be
TV in the kitchen.
So, but 3 hours later, you got your end product, and then you quart bag it, and it's thick, it's concentrated. So, and we use like 1 quart-sized bag about that thick for okra gumbo, and that's what you start your okra gumbo off with, is that gumbo. Okra gumbo, a true Cajun okra gumbo. I have a video on it. On my Boo Lucat channel. My Boo Lucat channel. But that's making the gumbo though.
Okay. Yeah, just
The Cajuns.
Yeah.
Say hi, Missy.
Oh, hey, Missy. She can't hear because me and Johnny have our earphones in. Mr. Jeff said hi.
Hello.
yeah.
So, but we have a video on the truth about a real okra gumbo or something like that. Somebody commented on it not a couple of days ago or a day ago, and I didn't open the email up, but it was not the email, the social, for the YouTube video.
Yeah.
If somebody comments on a video of mine, I'll get that in the email.
Yeah.
in my
I
social.
don't have to worry about
party.
that stuff.
And they said they're gonna have to try it, but I didn't open it so where I could see it all. Or if you want pickled okra, which I love pickled okra, you only want your okra about that short. That's
Yeah.
it. You don't want it from the cap, the stem cap, to the tip of the okra. All you want 3 inches.
Nice.
And well, they'll fit in your little pint jars. Or a little bit longer, ½ inch longer for your quart jars. And then you pickle them like that. But for cooking okra, what you do, you blanch them, like for deep frying. You blanch your okra first for about 3 minutes, and then you put them in ice water. A simmer boil your okra 3
Mhm.
minutes, and then you shock them with the ice water. That cools them down real fast, stops the cooking process. And then you slice them, put them in Ziploc bags, throw them in the freezer, and then you can deep fry them like that.
Oh, okay.
But I don't care for fried okra nuggets. I don't, because it's like what the comment said. It's what's the word for it? Slimy. She said mushy or sloppy or something. It's a slimy. And I've seen people make a regular chicken gumbo and chicken and sausage gumbo with root, a regular gumbo, or shrimp gumbo, okay, made with a root. Then they dump a bag of freaking frozen sliced okra from the store in it. They just ruined that gumbo. You can ask Johnny Best.
Yeah.
We don't do our okra gumbos like that. Shit comes out slimy,
Yeah.
Well, that's my ex used to. It was basically the same thing what you're talking about there, but she used.
Yeah, chicken
She was,
eggs.
no, she was my ex. She used to.
Oh, your eggs. Oh, I thought you
Yeah.
meant your pickled eggs. Oh, okay.
My ex
Sorry.
used to make what she called frogmore stew or something or other, and it was basically what you said with the shrimp, just throw the kitchen sink in it just about,
Yeah.
and that's what she made as kind of a gumbo type thing too. So
Yeah, because when I do a seafood gumbo or shrimp gumbo, I do a shrimp gumbo. I don't add smoked sausage in it, nothing like that.
yeah,
That's smoked sausage has no business in a seafood gumbo. No business. You don't want that smoky taste to it.
yeah.
Well, anyways, the time has come.
What
I gotta take the 2 critters out for their nightly duty.
minute, Jeff? They have. I don't know about where you're at, but for something like you're talking about, they in the fall or early spring, they have a couple of farm auctions around here that sell some of that kind of stuff too. So you might can pick up some of that if it's you might can look for like a farm auction to get some of that stuff that you're looking for too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got off track. Uh, we found that extra set of hippers we had, row hippers, choppers. Randy would call them choppers.
Yeah.
And I call them row hippers, and that's what they classify it as row hippers. Or you can chop with them, use them as a plow, a disc harrow, but you got to straighten them out a little bit. For row hippers, you have to turn them in, toe them in like that. A little, say a bird's eye view. Okay, say looking down at it. You want them set about like that.
Yeah.
Okay, on each side. That's how you want them set. But cocked in, and that's gonna throw the dirt around your potatoes and over the fertilizer after you cultivators, stir up the dirt, kind of
Yep.
emulsify the dirt a little bit and
Yeah.
pop the weed roots up. Because the fertilizer will kill weeds too. Weed roots, fertilizer will kill that. It depends on what kind of fertilizer you use. But we use the organic fertilizer. Everything is made from stuff that comes out the ground.
Well, I got a regular tractor dealer, like about a mile and a half from where I'm working out there,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
and he sells like the woods plows and the cultivators and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I was gonna stop there one day and get a price for. They make a 48-inch double row set of discs. So I was gonna find
double
out how much
row?
they are. Yeah, double row.
Wow, that would take about a 30 horse, 25 horsepower tractor to pull those, huh?
No, I don't pull it with mine.
And it's a double row. It'll make 2 rows at one time.
It's actually the front rollers throw it in or out, and the back rollers you turn it to bring it back.
Oh, yeah, I know. Okay, yeah, I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
Actually, I've seen tillers like that over here. They have a V door on the back.
Uh-huh.
Your actual tiller is tilling the ground, and what comes out of the ass end of the implement of the tiller, they have a V door and a top like a mud flap
Yeah.
on an 18-wheeler, and they have that to flatten, and it comes out as a row. You tilled the ground and made your row at the same time.
I know
With the
years
one I'm
ago the old
talking
Troy
about.
Bolt rotor tillers were the only ones that originally the tillers spun like this way as you were going, so that they were
Mhm.
pulling the dirt up instead of how the normal tillers, it's like they dig in from the front.
Yeah. Oh
And you
yeah, like
just
a
kinda
rear
pull
tine
along.
tiller, that
Yeah.
Craftsman. Everybody had a Craftsman rear tine tiller at one time, more than likely. Or what was those famous tillers? Troy built.
Yeah, that's what I just
Troy-
said.
A Troy built tiller.
Yeah.
Yeah. A rear tine, yeah. It goes backwards.
Well, the
And then your
original
2
ones
front
did. The new
tires,
ones don't.
your 2 front tires actually, because there's some of them that have a PTO in the front, PTO in the back
Yeah.
for your implements.
Oh, man.
And I forget the name of those that piece of equipment, but there's a lot of garden truck farmers that use those, and they handle so easy.
Well, you know what I would always killed me? You remember the old Grayleys that had like that little egg beater thing in the front that would just kind of blow the dirt straight up in the air, kind of?
I think I know what you're talking about, just a regular front tine tiller.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you had a little depth gauge on the back,
Uh-huh.
and that was your hold down. Also, if you was in some semi-hard ground, you could just hold that there, push down on your handles, and that would hold you in place. A lot of people try to fight the tiller and pull backwards. It's not what you do with a tiller. People don't know how to use them if they're doing that.
Wait, you don't want us to be on TV?
Delisa, I don't know if
She's looking right now, but you can't tell.
yeah.
And he's
Like
over
the
there in the corner.
way we cook okra down, Delisa, for 3 hours. There's nothing crunchy or mushy about it, and that is the base of a gumbo. Okra is the actual base of a gumbo. You don't use a root, like a half a jar root. Say you make homemade root and you put it in a quart jar or whatever. and we always use a half a jar of roux. It depends on how much roux to how much water. But we only put like 2 or 3 tablespoons of roux, and we add it to
Goofy.
gumbo later, after the gumbo is, kind of, on idle speed,
Well,
Well, Delisa, she's not a baby. She's 3, but she knows how to play the game.
what is your other dog, Jeff?
Oh, the other one's the same thing. He's a Springer too. Only he's 13.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, one more question. How's your dad doing? He doing better now?
Yeah.
He ain't in the hospital no more. Nothing
No.
like that? Oh, that's good.
No. Matter of fact, he just turned in for the night.
That's good.
So that means it's time because I'm getting a look. She's impatient at this time of night because she wants to go out, do her business, and then go to bed.
We got one too. She's got her own door to go to the backyard. So.
But she's got a bad habit. You got to keep like the inside door closed, like the screen door.
Yeah.
If the inside door is closed, the screen door, she just hits that full speed because she knows just how to hit the handle right, so that it blows it open.
No, but dog.
And poor Bosco, he's not quick enough sometimes. It's like he gets stuck inside or he gets stuck in the middle of the door.
Bosco. How'd you give a dog that name, Bosco?
Well, you see how she's like brown and white? Well, she's actually more black. He's actually brown and white.
Oh, like Bosco chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, the powder, Bosco powder, the chocolate milk. I have a friend of mine. His name was Carol Broke. Breaux, not BRO, BREAUX. That was his nickname. His real name was Carol, but nobody knew him as Carol. Everybody knew him as Bosco. And he was helping me crawfish one day. I got him on the boat until my regular deckhand on the crawfish boat got back off of vacation. So I used Bosco. And the guy was doing the crawfish farm for Fat Joe. This is way before we opened up the lawnmower shop. That's the first time he met Carol. He knew his daddy, but he never met Carol, Bosco. He said, "How'd you get that name, Bosco?" And he was like, "I don't know. My mom and dad started calling me that when I was about 2 years old, as long as I can remember." But he always had a tan,
Yeah.
He'd go around with a pair of shorts on in the summer and have a pair of shorts, no shoes, and that was it. And he never lost his tan during the winter, so they started calling him Bosco. Just like down here, would have probably called him either Mulat, probably Mulat. Like one of my cousins, because that means brown. Mulat is like, half black, half white, kind of brown, mixed breed, half black, half white person. Mulatto. So, but Bosco didn't know that until he found out later from his mom and dad. And at that point in time, Bosco chocolate milk powder was out, on the shelves. And Bosco, how old is Bosco chocolate milk powder? That shit's old.
I remember that when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's old.
Well, I think Bosco's actually, I don't know if it still is, but I know it used to be made up here by me. It was like probably about half an hour, a little more than half hour down to where it was made.
Bosco?
Yeah,
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's where it was, down on Changebridge Road down there.
Oh, Tommy Hanlon. Hey, Tommy. He said there's a St. John Bosco. I didn't know that.
Mm.
I don't know what a
Well,
St. John
I
Bosco
mean,
is.
those Springers are smart working dogs too.
It's all right. The battery's about out on that thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know it's funny because she's smart at certain things, but he is smart at certain things that she don't.
Well, they've probably been together long enough now that
Read that.
that they
Yeah.
can work together, work off each other. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, because you watch the way
Yeah.
she does things that
Uh-huh.
she sees him do it so many times and she starts doing it.
Yeah.
But it's like for I don't know how many years he's been in his house, he never understood that, like, between the living room, you could go around into the kitchen, into the dining room, and come back to the living room. I don't think he ever realized you could do that until she was here.
Yeah. They'll. I mean, if you got two dogs that can work together like that, that they work off each other's strengths and weaknesses. So
Oh,
yeah,
it's funny watching him in the morning because he goes out and he just kind of wanders around. She races like 2 laps around the house, watches him for a little while, grabs the paper, and she'll come back and she'll watch him for so long, and then she actually goes up and like around him and kind of steers him this way.
yeah. Well,
But
at least
It's funny because sometimes he'll give her the slip and he'll go the other way when she's not watching. It's like watching her go up and down the driveway looking around. It's like, where'd he go?
yeah.
Because he'll go over in the front of the house and hide behind the bushes.
At least we used to have two dogs that one would go out the house raising Cain every time she stepped out, and then the other dog she'd run her all the way around the yard looking to see what she was barking at. She'd make sure
Yeah.
that there wasn't none in the yard after the first one had just started raising Cain for no reason. So, but I mean that's just they the way they worked out. So, uh, yeah. I mean, this one we got now. She goes outside and finds something strange going on other than a rabbit or a rodent or something other else. She'll come back in here grunting at us. She don't bark or she don't whine. Grunts. I mean, mm, mm, like that. I mean, she's not. I mean, but that's if she sees something strange going on out in the yard, you better you better believe that she comes in here to get you like that. You got to follow her back out because
She ain't gonna leave you alone.
she's not gonna leave you alone, and she knows there's something different in the yard. So
I like a dog like that.
yeah,
And
and
I'm trying to teach mine, which I think I taught it a little. Overkilled it. When our dog's an inside dog. It never goes outside. Never. We have a pad for it in the bathroom. And if somebody knocks on the door, we're gonna know somebody's at the door. If somebody's walking in the yard, because we have that big sycamore tree back here, like big gumball tree, and so leaves are all over the ground. In the fall especially, they
Yeah.
crunch. So if somebody's walking in the yard, that will wake me up because my head's by my window, my bedroom window, and if somebody's back there by my shop walking, that's going to wake me up because that's not a natural sound. Now, if a cat is walking out there or a dog, on those leaves. That's a different sound, footstep sound. That doesn't wake me up. But if somebody's in the yard, that our little dog baby will let us know.
Well, I went back when I drove. I had two little chihuahuas. I mean, like two long-haired chihuahuas that I rode with me everywhere I went.
Mhm.
And if I was out of that doggone truck, there was no way in hell I could sneak up on that truck. One was they'd sit,
Right.
one was sit on top of the steering wheel, and the other one was sit in the driver's seat. The one, and they say dogs don't look in the mirrors. People are so crazy. As long as they don't see themselves in the mirror, they're okay. But they would walk. He would one was standing on the steering wheel, and a woman walked past my truck. He'd get excited, and he'd jump. He'd go to jumping on the city horn on the steering wheel, and he'd lay down on the steering wheel. He'd he you walk up, and every woman that walked past that truck couldn't get through the parking lot. All right, good night, there, Patrick. Hope to see you tomorrow night or Sunday night.
Night, Patrick Hattrick.
Yeah.
That's what's funny about Sammy. Anybody that comes across, like, they can walk on the street in front of a house and she'll let them know they're there. But if they walk on the grass, it's open game for her. Bosco, he just sits on the porch and just sits there and looks at him like, I guess you're not going to come visit me.
There's there's a beagle that lives across the road, and they turn him loose, and he'll come over here to use the bathroom and everything else, and I prop his legs on
Is he
all.
housebroke?
No, props his legs on all the bushes in all in our yard, and now Alice don't bark or nothing at him. She's done nailed him a couple times, but she don't bark or nothing. I guess that's part of the child that's in her breeding, but she'll just sit there and watch him, and then as soon as he sees her, he'll go to the other side of the road then because he knows if he gets down there to her, she's gonna nail him. So yeah, I mean she will put him on the run, but I mean
Oh, excuse me.
That's why I've had kids down the street here. They got like a little boxer puppy. I don't know. He's probably like 6 months old or something. And he used to ride around a block on their bicycles. And this dog, he'd run behind him without a care in the world until the one day Sammy seen him and she went straight for him and chased him back down the one street a ways and scared that poor boxer puppy. He would not come up around this way. The kids were walking down. They were trying to call him, get him come back. They ended up going all the way back around the other way home.
yeah. Well, I mean, but this one we got now though. She's a good dog. She knows her four corners of this lot, and she does not go out of them. But if that doggone stupid dog comes over here to prop his legs, she won't go. She'll nail him and just stay right here in the yard. But I mean, it's just in her breed, I guess. I mean, yeah, she's got chow, staff, and lab in her, so he don't. Uh, many people don't want
So
to.
we
Yeah,
got
I mean,
the drunk next door. She's got 4 of them stupid corgi dogs, and it's like you get up 5 o'clock in the morning to let these two out, and it's like as soon as you open the door, if they're outside, they're right at the fence sitting there waiting. And they just start going and going. You got the one in the middle of the daytime, if they're outside, he'll stand at the corner of the fence and just bark at the phone pole across the street.
yeah. Yeah, and if I go in there and I change my hairstyle, I shave my head and my beard off the other week, and she run away from it for because she just until I finally got close enough to her she could smell me. But she 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 don't like men wearing hats or anything like that. She's more or less our one person dog. Me and the wife can get and anybody else. Um, a younger person comes up in this yard, she will be wanting to tear their butt off. But some of the older people will. She will take up with some of the older ones to come up here. But
That's what's funny. Bosco, when I come home, we got like that this cover and stuff that covers over the back door so you can't look in. He can see enough where as soon as I open the door, his tail starts going. He knows it's me. She'll stand there sometimes looking like, who are you? How come you're here? Until I start talking to her, and then it's like, oh, it's you.
mhm. I mean, for a little dog, for a little teeny dog, she's very intimidating because my she, my cousin had what did they call that? What was that dog he had? Australian Shepherd, and
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
and
cow dog. Yeah.
yeah, and she she would sit. She'd see her coming up the road, coming up the dirt road there by the house, and she would sit back, and she just sit there and stare at her. And that dog look up and see her sitting there. She would turn around and go back the other damn direction. She didn't want no part of her. So, I mean, because she just she wouldn't bark or anything. She just nail her butt. I mean, so
Down here, we use a lot of blue heelers for
yeah,
cow dogs. Like on trail rides and stuff, when you can't get a mule or something
yeah.
or a jackass to. One time we had to cross the ferry. We was on a 7-day trail ride, and I was playing music for it at the time. And Scott Olyea he was a farrier, horseshoer,
yeah,
Yep.
blacksmith, and he had his two blue heelers, and those two dogs, they got one jackass on the ferry. The other one was a younger jackass that a kid was riding, and Scott got up and carried because the way the ferry came up to the landing,
yeah,
on on the highway, the way the
yeah,
ferry did, they had a gap. It was about that high and about that far, and it kind of looked like a cattle guard town. You know what a cattle
Yeah.
guard is?
Yeah.
Yeah, from the road to the property, property to the road, cattle won't cross it. Then the fence comes from
yeah,
each side. Yeah. Anyway, so Scott picked up the jackass and put it on the ferry. Well, didn't have no problem after he got on. But once them two blue heelers, uh, when we crossed the Vermilion River, the other one went. What they did, they let the other jackass off first. He got off on his own, put the other jackass behind him, and he was hesitant. But once them two blue heelers got on his back legs, and each of them took, he said, "Heel 'em, boy," and boys, and once each of them nipped at it, that jackass's hind legs, that jackass was on the road. He said, "I don't want no more part of them dogs."
yeah. That's a good. That's the funny part about that is like you said, it's uh, but around here they use the use jackasses to keep the sheep and all safe up here because of the coyotes.
Coyotes, yeah.
I,
A
I mean,
coyote is, oh, no, let me rephrase it. A jackass is a mortal enemy to a coyote. They will not come a mile or 2 miles around a jackass. They will not. They won't come on the property. People got calves, cattle,
Mhm.
calf, newborns, yeah. Llamas,
Mhm.
exotic animals,
Yeah.
and they breed out here. The llamas breed and have little ones, on these certain places. They got jackasses. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I still didn't finish my story from earlier. When we found that extra set of row hippers, Jeff,
Yeah.
I put it on Facebook Marketplace in our area. It's called
Yeah.
the Cajun Trading Post. It's a Facebook page.
Uh-huh.
It's not called Facebook Marketplace. It's for sale or trade in units or the Cajun Trading Post. They all link to each other.
Yeah.
I think I got $175 for those for that set of row hippers.
Did you?
Yeah, that was cheap. Hey, Randy called. I told him what time I put it up. He said 30 minutes later he got a phone call and he said the guy's over here right now. Come on. I'm like, okay. So I went over there and he jewed us down to 160. But I said, take them. So Randy said, unlock them. So took the keys off my belt loop, unlocked the chain, and got the chain from around that big oak tree. And I helped the guy load them up in the truck, and he was a happy camper. Within 30 minutes, they sold $60. Okay, it was listed for 170.
Well, I've
That's
seen
cheap
that.
for a set of row hippers.
I've seen that with a couple of tractors that I found there, like mine. I found them and go back like 2 hours later, it's already gone. It's like
Oh yeah,
that's good.
if anything's a good deal. How much they want for them row hippers for yours?
The ones he's got, he had them at 175. He's gonna knock some off because he don't have the little potato plow thing. He sold that separate.
Oh well, yeah, because we only sold the row hippers we had them listed at 175.
Yeah.
But that's cheap down here because it was a 2-inch. They fit a 2-inch bar,
Uh-huh.
which you could have changed all the U-boats and all that for 1.5 inches. That wouldn't have been a problem, Just change that little yoke out on top, That'd have been no problem.
Angry.
But they were set for a 2-inch bar and Pitman bar, and that's what he had. He had a Super 8, just like we had.
Hey Daryl, corgis are not great dogs. They're annoying, noisy mutts.
Corgi.
But they, like he said, they're all working dogs. So.
I know a girl that has one named Johnny Cash, and the other one's name is I forget the other one's name. Oh, the battery took a shit, Johnny. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry, I can't take my earbuds out. It'll echo.
That's all
Huh?
right.
Okay.
Huh?
I was talking to Johnny.
Huh? Oh well, I'm getting looks now, so I guess I better take him out.
All right, Jeff. Well, I appreciate you coming in and hanging
Sure.
around
See
with
you
me.
next time.
All right. Good night. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was looking at something else. I didn't know he was leaving.
Yeah.
All right, well, make it official. All right, Jeff, blue top.
Well, I guess. Yeah. It's but it's there's. I mean, like I said, they was the what the heck was I even thinking about now? Delisa, she loves them basset hounds. Is what she loves. She loves them long ears and them short legs.
Well,
And
that's what it looked like when he had a hound dog, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Where's the other one at? What's the small one?
yeah, and I mean that's just what it was. Kind of what he. That's what
Yeah, the
she
big
always she loved
store.
them. Yeah. Well, uh, Cajun, I think we've had enough excitement for tonight. I think we've been on over 2 hours, so I think
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna I'm gonna end the broadcast and all this stuff. So
Oh, okay.
I will see y'all later.
All right. Well, I'll do my outro and then we'll talk backstage for a second. For
Oh,
I think somebody else is coming on. I'm not sure at in a half hour, so I don't know if Ed's coming on or what, or Jehu. No, I think Ed's still sick. Last night, man, he was sounded like he had the croup and the crud all in one. He had COVID.
Well, Ed left y'all a while ago.
No, not that Ed. Ed the tech guy.
Oh, okay.
So, all right, everybody. Like I always say, we're glad we got to saw y'all again. We're glad y'all got to saw us again. And remember, it's good being north of the grass. Stay safe. Stay that way. Be safe. And as always, love, peace, crackling grease. And we'll catch y'all. Flute top. Later.
Got a lot of outros to say.
I'm glad it worked.